of the week, one of our favorite topics.
Yeah, we're in track season. As we talked about spring sports season, we hear a lot about umpires and different spring sports officials. Mark Solberg, the athletic director at Cambridge Isani, and clearly the best thank a ref tweeter in the business in Minnesota. He goes out of his way and tweets everything about all these officials. So he tweeted a picture of 4 officials working a track meet in Cambridge. It's the Norm Ayen invite, Ayen. Sorry, Norm, I don't know how to pronounce it. And the officials are Mark, Jim, Jerry, and Lee. I know a couple of these officials. So clearly, Mark Solberg was talking to them. Between the 4 of them, they have a combined 209 years of track and field officiating experience.
Wow.
So these are not kids. These are veterans, so more than 50 years apiece. I assume that means from the time they started competing in track and field. But yeah, that's a pretty good testament to the kind of people who commit themselves to helping out these high school kids in all the different activities.
Excellent. How about upcoming events? What do we got?
Yeah, we got a couple of non-athletic events. One for officials, one concerns football. We're always looking for young officials, prospective young officials. So if you're a high school senior who's going to be graduating here, if you're a college student, if you're out of college, you want to make some money, you want to pay off that college debt, have some fun, give back to the sports you love. There's going to be an evening at Tartan High School in Oakdale, May 14th, 6:30 to 8 p.m. It's going to be information for people who would like to know more about officiating, even if you're not sure. You're encouraged to come. You don't have to sign up. You don't have to pre-register. It doesn't cost anything. Just show up. There will be officials there. There will be information. You can talk to veteran officials. You can, get your college buddies together, come down in a group. Again, Tartan High School in Oakdale, May 14th, 6:30 to 8. And if you go to the MSHSL Facebook page, scroll down a bit, there's an entry there with kind of the flyer on this. And if anybody has any questions, talk to me on Twitter and I'll help you out. The other one is the second annual Minnesota Football Summit will be this Saturday, April 27th at Roseville High School. I think it starts at 9 o'clock, goes till 2 or 3 o'clock. This is the Minnesota Football Coaches Association partnering with the High School League and the Vikings hosting this football summit. Basically, it's leaders of Minnesota football, not just at the high school level, but at the youth level. They're just kind of having workshops and seminars and some round tables talking about ways to keep the game growing. It's a great game, ways to enhance youth football. So you can go to mshsl.org or the High School League Facebook page. You'll find information on the second annual Minnesota Football Summit. And if everything falls into place, I'll be at both of these events. I'm looking forward to that.
You can also find John's journal at mshsl.org, and that time I said it right.
You got it.
Proud of myself. A category I did not expect this week, Cake of the Week.
Cake of the Week. Okay, this is a first-time category, maybe an only-time category, but it's too great to not mention. This is off a tweet from United South Central High School, which is in South Central Minnesota, and they are united. I can guarantee you that. So they had a coach, Kent Wieselman, who has retired after 54 years of coaching track and field. Kent also coached cross country and basketball. So somebody came up with a cake, and it's just a simple, like a sheet cake, and there's a picture of Kent holding it, and someone has written something on the cake. And I'm guessing this is one of Kent's common refrains over the years as athletes are pushing themselves and working hard. So on this beautiful cake in beautiful icing, it says in big letters, "Puke big chunks."
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
I think that's how you exhort your young athletes to keep working hard. You're going to puke big chunks right on the cake. Yeah, I don't know how fast the cake went down at the party, but maybe you overlook that and just have a nice piece of cake. So, and one other coaching note here, Bruce Davis, he's the baseball coach at Tri-City United. I saw a tweet with Bruce holding a sign marking his 400th career victory as a high school baseball coach. And
wow.
High school baseball season in Minnesota is short. That's a lot of wins over a lot of years. So congrats to Bruce Davis at Tri-City United.
Congratulations, Bruce.
Yes.
Selfie of the week.
Yeah, this was the special thing. There's a young man at Esco High School up near Duluth, Sam Ringo. He's a senior, and he's been going to state meets in track and cross country and basketball. And when he was an 8th grader, he happened to walk in, I think it was a state track meet. We have a souvenir tent set up, and there's a guy named Butch Tisk. Anybody who's been to state tournaments, and you hear the guy selling programs yelling in a high-pitched voice, programs, programs, that's Butch. Everybody knows Butch. So Sam Ringo from ESCO, that's a real name, Sam Ringo from ESCO, took a selfie. As an 8th grader, just kind of stood up to Butch, put his camera up, took a selfie. Sam and Butch. He didn't even know Butch's name. He called him program guy. So his mom has compiled the selfies. There's 9 of them. If Sam makes it to state and track this spring, which I think it sounds like he should, he'll complete the series and have 10 selfies with Butch. And it's funny, I saw an email from his mom to somebody in our office, and she sent all the photos. They just call him program guy. So every time Sam goes to a state tournament, the whole family waits for the text with the picture of Sam and program guy. Now we know program guy is Butch. Butch is a great part of these tournaments, a great sport. Clearly is willing to just stand there with a kid he doesn't really know for a selfie. The kid keeps coming back. They've done it 9 times. So if you go to MSHSL on Facebook, you can see all 9 photos of Sam and program guy Butch and some comments from his mom. It's remarkable. And since we posted that a day or two ago, I've seen a reply from her mom. She's just loving this. Never thought this would become a big deal. The program guy selfie. I've never seen anything like it. It's just some kid decides, hey, I'm going to take a selfie with the guy selling programs. Now it's a family tradition. So way to go, Sam and Butch.
Fantastic. Let's wrap up the show with a recruiting story of the week. If you'd like to advertise with this program or anywhere on the network, which we've reached anywhere from 170 to like 190,000 listens a month across the network, you can reach us at talknorthpodcast@gmail.com. Thanks to our producer, Brandon Morton. And thanks again to pizzabarnprinceton.com. Stop on your way to the lakes. Stop on your way back from the lakes. Stop if you're anywhere near Princeton. Recruiting story of the week.
Yeah, this one's pretty wild, Jim. So there's a guy from Barnesville, small school, northwest Minnesota. Hunter Zen, a big, strong kid, committed to play football at Iowa State. Okay, that's great there. I mean, it's a D1 kid from a small town. And this is from a story from my buddy Chris Murphy in the Fargo Forum. So he decided to make the decision, or he decided to let the coaches know. NDSU was after him. But the family had this long planned trip to Florida. So while they're in Florida, Hunter calls Matt Campbell, the Iowa State coach, tells him, yes, I'm making the commitment. And part of the family plans in Florida was to go hunting for wild boars. So basically, while they're in Florida, Hunter calls Matt Campbell, calls the coaches at North Dakota State, calls coaches from other colleges to say, thanks for everything. I've committed to Iowa State. But now my dad and my brother and I, we're going out at night to hunt wild boars in Florida. So, and they did, and they apparently texted a picture to Chris Murphy that I saw on the forum website, Dad and the 2 boys with wild boars that they had just killed in Florida at night. It's great. So, and this is a pretty good recruiting class for Iowa State for Minnesota. They've already got Aiden Bauman, quarterback from Buffalo High School. His dad is his coach, Todd Bauman, former NFL quarterback, Vikings quarterback. So I'm challenging Aiden Bauman now. You've got to go bison hunting, buddy. You play for the Buffalo Bison. You've got to go find a place to legally.
Wouldn't that be kind of like cannibalism?
Legally, it might be cannibalism, but Hunter Zen has been to Florida. He killed a wild boar. So I think the quarterback of the Buffalo Bison needs to go on a hunt and bring something back here.
And I will tell you, boar, that's one of those hunting adventures that's real hunting, because you don't get the boar will get you.
No, these were big boys.
This isn't like one of these. This wasn't one of these like rich guys flying to Africa to hunt something that isn't supposed to be hunted. This is something that will get you.
This isn't a little desert javelina. This is by looking at this picture, I don't know how many pounds of, I'm guessing several hundred pounds of wild boar that the Zen boys got in the middle of the night in Florida. That is a great story. These guys are going to be popular in Ames, Iowa, as hunters and outdoors people. So
yes.
That one's amazing. Yeah, some wild stuff this week between selfies with the program guy and hunting for wild boars in Florida the day you announce your college commitment. What a country we live in.
What a country, and what a state.
What a state this is.
Not to suck up to our state, but pretty good state and pretty good high school sports, and a great show that highlights it. Thanks to John for all of his work for traversing the state, as he always does. Thanks to our listeners and our sponsor, pizzabarnprinceton.com.